So welcome to the Head Guy podcast. This podcast is sponsored by Cards in Qatar, the number one website for birthday cards, greeting cards, farewell cards, good luck cards, graduation cards, any kind of cards. Go on that website. And our other sponsor is the Mahaba, the number one destination guide for Qatar. Check it out. It's been going for over 20 years. So, my special guest here today is Chris Thomson. Hello, Chris.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm great. Great.
Now, look, I'm always curious. When someone wants to set up a business, I'm always curious about, has it always been in their blood? Or is it something that there's been a revelation, et cetera, et cetera? So, you're here today to talk about your new business.
Yeah.
So has there always been a desire to run your own business? Or have you done it in the past? Because I went on your LinkedIn page.
Yeah.
And Chris, generally you don't like to shout about your past history in work.
That's true.
It's very limited.
Very vague.
So could you give me some clue?
It's the SAS and background that I have. I'm only joking. Okay, so to answer your first point, have I ever been entrepreneurial or had that entrepreneurial kind of spirit? So going way, way, way back, when I was 12 years old, I bought a pressure washer, or I exchanged a gift for a pressure washer.
Hold on, can I just stop you?
Yeah.
Were there pressure washers that long ago?
Oh dear. Come away now.
All right, you haven't got grey in your beard, so it could be quite risky.
It's there, I can assure you. Yeah.
Go on, sorry.
However, yes, Karcher was actually available then. It was the first one.
Okay.
So I was at school. I lived in Northern Ireland at the time. I'm saying 12, I was maybe 14. Let's not go too specific.
Yeah.
And I got a gift, one of these Spectrum computer things that had the tape deck for my Christmas.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's revealing the
the age group. Exactly. There you go.
Because I remember Spectrum.
Yeah. I can't remember what it was. The ZX Plus, whatever. Yeah. And it went faulty. So we took it back, and I got the money back for it, and I decided to buy a pressure washer and start washing cars.
Wow.
Yeah.
So from a Spectrum ZX whatever to a pressure washer.
Yeah. Why?
What was it?
I have no idea. I can't remember. I just remember seeing this volume of money, maybe £99, maybe like £120, whatever it was at the time.
Yeah.
A bluey now, or whatever colour it is now. And it basically just made me think, I want to make more of that. I don't just want that, you know. And I think my parents had a business, and I decided that it would fit quite well within that business, that I could go down and wash the cars around the industrial units, and I did. That's exactly what I did. Finished school, went down every day, and charged £3, £4, whatever it may be, and started washing cars.
So your parents were running their own business?
Yes.
So you were brought up with...
Yes. Latterly. And from that sort of age group,
So do you think that was an inspiration for you? Possibly.
Yeah, I think just that seeing someone do something, my stepdad at the time, seeing someone do something and the riches that come from that, I guess, would probably be maybe the best way I could explain it. That was my first dip into the entrepreneurial lifestyle. I'm not going to say it lasted long. I think maybe a few months. I got bored of it. It started raining outside, whatever it may be. Someone bought a football instead, so I started playing football. I have no idea, but that was it. And I remember going round, and then some of the unit holders, the small businesses in the business park that we were in, would say to me, okay, come round the house on a Saturday and, pressure wash my stairs and the external stair pathways and things like that, mold and things. So yeah, I just did that. That was how it was.
Wow.
And I think, as I say, it was a whim, and then I think I probably gave up on it after a while. But I made cash, I made money, and that probably started that lifestyle, that thinking, that inspirational thinking.
So come on then. After that, where did it go? Because your LinkedIn just starts from 2011, so there's a big gap for me to.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Well. Yeah. There definitely is from that time frame. I think I started working for my parents actually. At the time, was the easy option. Became extremely lazy. As you do, when you're working,
because you're working for
working for your parents. Yeah, I was young, stupid.
Do you regret that? Because it's interesting.
Absolutely not.
I've had my sons. I had one of my sons work for me.
Yeah,
and my wife was always saying that's a big mistake.
Yes. Yeah, I don't regret working for them, and I don't regret this next part either.
Okay.
So they actually fired me.
Yeah, I literally nearly did that. Well, he made his decision, but then I said, you got to go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was lazy and they fired me.
How did that make you feel?
Terrible, obviously. And I actually left the country.
Oh, wow.
I actually left the country. I packed my bags and left the country. So I was living in Northern Ireland at the time. I can never say that word for some reason. In Larne. Little small town, small kind of village place at the time it was. It's much bigger now, I believe. And got fired. Basically felt totally humiliated by my parents, my stepdad and my mum. So I left home, went and crashed on my mate's couch for a couple of days, bought a ticket, got on the ferry, went across to Scotland, and went back to Aberdeen. Didn't tell anyone I was doing it. Arrived on my grandmother's doorstep. This is, wow, I tell you, this is yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I was, the blue-eyed boy, brown-eyed, but the blue-eyed boy for my grandmother, you know. At the time, that changed. But so I landed on her doorstep, and bags in the hand. I said, I'm here. The shock was there, of course, and then she phoned my mum, told my mum that I was there and everything was safe, and then I ate home cooking and crashed out on the couch. First thing in the morning, my grandmother kicked me out of the house to go and get a job. Now this was back in the day when you literally just walk. I know it happens here a lot, but you just walked around and you just knocked on doors. You're looking for anyone. Wow. And I've just realised a link. My first job was washing cars.
Wow.
I actually just realised that.
Yeah.
So I walked down, there was car garages, car sales forecourts, and I just walked in and I just said, look, I'm just arrived, I'm from Aberdeen, but I was living in Northern Ireland, blah, blah, blah. And the old salesman was the manager, and he just said, look, we've got a position washing cars. I'll take it.
I'm an expert.
And that's it, and that was it from there. That progressed into selling cars, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Turns out I'm actually a very good salesman.
And you didn't know at the time? It was something that... Was it a natural gift?
Yes. I'm an honest person.
Yeah.
I'm very honest, so I just tell the truth, And
that's what people appreciate. That's the perfect sales.
Yeah, exactly. You're not being fed a line.
No.
Okay, the finance maybe is expensive, or this is maybe this, or this and maybe this, but it's still good for you. You're here to buy something that I'm selling, so therefore I sell it.
But it's interesting because I had I don't know if you know Steve Mackey. He's from Bristol actually, but he's a salesperson. He's been a salesperson all his life.
Yeah.
But he's always had that natural ability where he's just been honest. He's just been truthful, and I always found that hard because in the old days, I was always put off by salespeople because I was all, you always fed a line, or you knew where they were heading, or they're trying to push you into something that you weren't comfortable with.
Yeah.
But you were just like him, being honest, looking after the potential customer to make sure that they were looked after.
Mm-hmm.
Was it not frowned upon by your peers, or they
Possibly.
were just quite happy because you were delivering the results?
So I view it slightly different. I view it that you had these experienced, cultured sales sharks who frowned upon me because I was making sales and I wasn't a shark. Yeah. So that was the frown upon. I wasn't feeding these people a line. I wasn't, I would sell an extra warranty or whatever. Of course you do what you have to do to make ends meet, but that wasn't to the detriment of them. If it was wrapped up into their finance package and they weren't really paying for it anywhere in any way out of their pocket, then that was the way it was. Yeah. So I was frowned upon, but not for the reasons that you would think. It was more just because I didn't need the Barry BS.
No, exactly.
Talk. I would just sit down and just be honest. And I'm very good at it.
Very good. So, how long were you there for, doing this sales? And did that inspire you to carry on in sales? Or
yes, it did to a degree. The memory is a little hazy now, really, as to how how much longer I was in car sales and what have you. But I was in car sales. I've done various selling jobs, direct selling. I've actually been a double glazing salesman.
Wow.
And again, very, very, very good at it.
Yeah.
But not because I'm lying.
No, just being honest, truthful, and
just understanding the needs.
Absolutely.
And delivering on those needs, going back at the multiple customers who I could go back to, and where they maybe couldn't afford 10 windows at the time, they'd call me up. Okay, come back. I'll take another window, or I'll take a door. That sort of relationship. I've got lots of customers like that. I did have at the time.
Well, you probably had other salespeople trying to sell the maximum windows, even though the client probably couldn't afford it. Yeah.
Well, so the way that the direct market works is you don't leave their house without a sale.
Oh, really?
You go in. We've all heard the stories, and they are true.
Yeah.
The guy felt like the guy was here for days. And he just wouldn't take no for an answer. I had that instances, of course, and you did take no. You just had to take no. You just okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Some people were wasting your time. We're doing it quite deliberately because they'd maybe had the experience before,
Or did you get the people that were lonely and just wanted to
There's
talk?
that, of course. There's that, of course. There's the maybe the guy, the woman, the older person who maybe was just lonely and just needed some company, But when you walk in as a salesman and you're like all business, or when you walk in and say, all right, then you putting the kettle on. Let's have a cup of tea, Let's, because obviously Scotland, of course, cup of tea. And that was always my approach. Just relax, just be relaxed.
Yeah.
And I do have a very, very, very funny story that was really embarrassing. But yeah.
Go on.
So okay. So
just you and me.
I was sitting. I know. I was sitting in my sales pitch, and a woman her husband was there, and she sat and she put her feet on the floor and then put them up on a stool. And I said to her, "When are you due?" And that's the face. That's the face, right? So I'll tell you what, this gets even better.
Oh, wow. Okay.
She was like, "What?" I was like, "When are you due?" She was like, "I'm not pregnant." I was like, "Why have you got your feet on the stool then?"
Oh, it's just because she had her feet on the stool, not because she was showing?
I'm not going to say that, am I?
No, that's true. Very good.
So why have you got... I thought you were pregnant because you put your feet up and your veins, your feet were swelling or something, and that was why you put your feet up.
Nice.
And she was like, "Oh goodness, I wish I'm too old to have kids." Blah blah. I said, "Have a laugh, blah blah blah." All that sort of stuff. And then obviously I sold the package as well. And I think I went back again and sold again.
Wow.
So yeah, you know, you can always put your foot in it, but
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
always having that ability to, take it back a little bit.
So did it, being a salesperson, did that ever inspire you to go it alone, or you're always quite comfortable working for other people?
I think being in direct sales switched me off of selling. I think because of the pressure, you know. And then you go into the corporate world, the corporate selling, and there's even more pressure, of course,
All right.
you know. And, whether it be cleaning products or a cleaning service or, whatever it may be, the pressure's there, and it's not something I was really cut out for.
No.
So I actually moved from sales to the complete opposite side of the spectrum. I became, or I moved into procurement.
Okay, completely.
In the oil and gas sector.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Moved into procurement, contracting, things like this.
I really don't get that, because selling, you're out and about, you're meeting people.
Yeah.
And then you go into procurement, which, I just have this image of people sitting in a darkened room,
Yes.
just looking over reels and reels of paper.
Yes.
And that really got you going?
I think I became exhausted in the sales wheel,
Yeah.
And I thought, let me try the other side. Let me try the other side of the table.
Wow.
And
can I just ask,
Yeah.
because since I've known you, I've never seen you in a suit.
yes,
Did you have to wear a suit when you were doing the direct selling?
yes.
Okay.
And it's funny, right? So I actually had to wear a suit and shirt and tie and blah blah blah. And now I wear a suit. I do wear a suit in my day job now.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay. I've never seen you in a suit.
No.
Okay.
But I do. But I refuse to wear a tie. And I always found that the delusions of grandeur came from people who got promoted.
Mm-hmm.
And you could be working next to someone, digging a hole, and then the next day they come in and they're the foreman, and the only thing that separates you is them wearing a tie.
Mm.
And I've never ever believed in that. I'm now a relatively senior manager, and I'll never ever wear a tie. I'll go to work if I'm out on site in one of the stadiums or whatever. I'll be in t-shirt. I'm just one of the people.
Mm.
I'm not here to do anything other than deliver a service.
And I get the feeling, from talking to you before the podcast and listening to you now, there's always been this humbleness to you and respect for
Yeah.
other people.
Where
Where has that come from?
I've come from a very, very, very poor background. I came from a single person, single mum, very poor background, upbringing. So that has taught me to, I do have an arrogance because, I'm good at what I do. I can't help that.
Mm.
But people take that as a negative. And there's nothing negative about me. There's nothing nasty about me. I'm just here to do what I'm here to do,
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that can rub people up the wrong way. I can't help that.
In what way? What?
Because a lot of people feel intimidated by someone or if you actually can deliver. I know that sounds like a really strange thing to say.
I would be very grateful if you can deliver and what you say is actually comes into place.
Yeah, it's funny that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But people don't like that. Do they think that you're literally giving BS to that you can't?
I don't know. I can't answer for anyone else. It's a very strange, and it is a very strange situation at times when you just have people with eyes saying not a chance. They're not the same people when it finishes and it's completed and it's successful. They're not the same people that will come over and shake your hand. They'll always walk away with this but.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
you think
Strange,
do
isn't
you
it?
think you're dealing with people's egos and that?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, they don't like it.
100%. Yeah.
The ego says no, he can't deliver,
Yeah.
and when he does, my ego's not happy because
I'm not going to accept that he
No,
delivered,
exactly.
or that was exactly as he said it would be. Yeah.
okay, just want to slap myself in the face then.
Yeah. We all want someone to deliver, and the honest people in the world accept that delivery. But you've got people who are not strictly honest,
Yeah,
and it may expose them for their failings.
I think that's it. It's
You
more
know,
about them rather than
yeah.
about you.
If you're in an environment where you're working hard, and they're working equally as hard, but they can't operate physically, mentally, or emotionally at your level, then they will try and find weakness there.
Yeah.
And I come across that.
So, procurement.
Yes.
I'm curious, how long did you last in procurement?
Quite a long time, actually. Yeah. It's a very much contracting job. I've contracted for, we did laugh and joke about, why my bio is so empty, but I actually did some work for the SAS, for an SAS company.
Oh, so you weren't messing around in
No.
anything?
No.
Okay.
A commercial entity that supplies for the SAS. But it's the most obscure time when you shake hands with someone in a place in just outside Gloucester, a pub called the Barrels, and there's lots of SAS high-ranking people. That's where they go to unwind.
Yeah.
And when you're being introduced to some of the high-end people, and they're shaking your hand, and you're thinking, what did that hand just do?
Yeah.
It's a very sobering moment.
Yeah,
As you're standing with a pint in the other hand, of course.
Yeah,
But yeah, so yeah.
But why were you there? Was it to do the deals or to sign off on anything, or you were just invited to?
No, I was the commercial manager for a company who were doing a lot of work. These are all ex-SAS or SBS
Right.
operators, and obviously everyone deals with their own in the forces.
Okay. Yeah.
It's something that they pride themselves on,
Yeah.
and rightly so. So we would working, and then a Thursday, and it would be right. Okay, we're going to Barrels. Let's Chris, come on, we'll, put you in a hotel room. So I didn't live locally, and you go down, and you just be like, who's he? What did he do?
Yeah. Yeah.
And these guys are the nicest guys in the world.
Oh, I'm sure.
Absolutely, and people would never believe they're trained to switch it on and switch it off, and that's exactly what they do. It's incredible.
I suppose
Anyway.
you would have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did a lot of commercial contracting work, and then I worked for a cleaning contractor in Aberdeen, and they ended up going out of business, and one of our friends was already in Qatar, Joffe. I think a lot of listeners will probably know him, I would think.
Yeah. Well, he is a celebrity over here in Qatar.
Yes, he very much is. So yeah, he asked me. He's one of my closest friends, one of my longest friends as well. Funny story how we got involved together, selling, of course. And so
that was during your selling time.
that was during my selling
the
time.
Procurement time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So he kind of moved. I'd been in procurement, been out of procurement. It kind of dipped in and out. As the work in the oil and gas industry, obviously the work it can come and go, as the price rises and drops.
Right.
And so selling was always a very good backbone to
Okay,
to
so
anything.
that was a fallback.
Yeah, I guess so.
See, why haven't you got all this on your LinkedIn page? It'd be fascinating.
I think it would be quite boring, to be honest. So then I came over and joined him in his opportunities that he'd cultivated here, and then from that,
So what were you doing here for him?
so project management
Okay.
and project operations for his fit out companies that he had, and we then.
And how was that? How was that transition? Because doing business back in the UK, in Scotland, to coming over here.
Yeah.
How was that? How was that transition for you? How did you cope? How long did it take to feel comfortable?
So when I moved here in 2011, October, November, September 2011, when I moved here, lock, stock and barrel. Like there wasn't a backup plan, you know.
It's like burn the ships.
Yes.
It's make or break.
That's it. Total salesman.
Yeah.
You know, that's it. I'm out of here.
Wow.
I am going to go and live in the desert. And obviously I have since. However, I arrived and it was quite a culture shock. Because, 12 years ago, 11 years ago, country was in a considerable different place than it is now. I guess I fitted in relatively well. I had a very difficult time emotionally when I first arrived, definitely. Just, I think the expat community and an older guy, but trying to just fit in with, the younger kind of crowd, I went through probably 6 or 9 months of a tough time. And then, came out the other side and just haven't looked back since, really.
But I just want to go through that because there's a lot of people that will experience that. What was it? Where did you find, were you trying to find the same kind of people, or what wasn't gelling, what wasn't working initially for you? Or was it, were you just throwing yourself into work so then you didn't have much social time?
Yeah, okay. So I have no idea what life is like here now for a newbie or, because obviously I'm not a newbie now and I have a totally different lifestyle than I did then. But initially it was you finished work on a Thursday night and it was the rugby club, and then Friday morning it was brunch, and then Friday night it was rugby club, and then Saturday, and it was just that constant circle, constant hamster wheel turning of the weekend rolling into the week. You struggling to get through the week to get to the weekend. And I'm not going to say in any way was there any dependency there, but it was certainly one of those kind of situations where a single guy here with a kind of a rock star mate, who was introducing you to left and right people.
Yeah, complete networker.
And you just feel that you just have to get involved in that and be involved in that the whole time, And
that didn't gel with you?
Absolutely not. No. So if we say June, July, August time, I can't remember when it was, I just totally transformed my being here. I stopped going out, stopped drinking, essentially, and I just started living more, throughout the week, and then the weekend would just.
But what got to you? What got to that point? Because was there a breaking point where either your health or just the way you were feeling generally just wasn't, you weren't feeling it.
Yeah.
So was there not like a light bulb moment, but was there a point where you just went, I can't do this anymore? It's literally, I'm running on reserves all the time.
Yeah.
I don't feel alive.
Yeah. So yes, definitely. I think I put on 25, 30 kgs maybe.
Yeah.
And I woke up one morning at the weekend with my laptop on the ground, covered in vomit.
Oh, yeah.
And that was it. That was it for me. That was when I realised and I had no idea how I got there. I had no idea what had happened, anything. And I'm not going to say that I transformed right there and then. I think I maybe still went out the next couple of weekends and drank and blah, blah, blah. But I realised then that was the kind of wall that I hit, and I thought, whoa, what on earth,
Mm.
you know? But you're still kind of caught up in that lifestyle. So of course you just kind of you say, oh yeah, okay, I'll clean the laptop down. Oh, I'll buy a new laptop, whatever, you know. And then that was it.
But it's quite hard when you're trying to pull away from, you know, what seems to be the norm. A lot of people, expat people, do that. It's literally focused on the Thursday, the Friday brunch, Saturday, and then just get through the week and do it again and again and again. So to pull yourself away from that, was there enough for you to do or for you to focus on to fill your time?
Yeah. Okay. So what you mean is how did I fill that void of the weekend of the weekend of voidness? How did I fill that void somewhere else? I probably didn't initially. So initially there was just, you know, I was just 125 kg slob, really, you know. And well, it takes a lot to admit that, but that's what it was. You know, that I'm not going to lie about that. I would just eat takeaway or cook food or whatever it may be, and then just get through the weekend, maybe go out, do a bit of sunbathing, maybe not, maybe just sit and watch TV, no Netflix and what have you back then, but just whatever it was, you know, and just kind of get through. Work was busy enough, so, you know, you could work on a Saturday, I could work on I could work, because we were busy with fit outs, we were constant at the time, so I was just able to step back from the whole persona that's just not me, you know. And
even the drinking, even stopping the drinking as well.
Oh no, that was nothing. That
was all right.
Yeah, that made absolutely no difference to my life at all. Yeah.
Were you ever a big drinker before?
No.
So it was all.
You know, of course, you know, at home with the lads. You know, go out for football and go and get a drink, but no, never really someone who depended on anything or any kind of never like that.
I just let the viewers know and the listeners know the reason, or I know Chris from 2011. When was it? Did I know you when you first arrived?
Yes.
Was that?
Yes.
So we used to share an office with Simon and Chris, running Bell Harvey at the time, and so you can imagine there's a fit out company. Were they? Was it mainly fit out
project management? Yeah,
fit out project management company on one side of this office, and then on the other side was this creative agency, film production company. So you had the creatives on one side, and had these loud.
Yeah,
I can never forget Simon on the phone to contractors, or when contractors came in because they hadn't done what they should have done. It was an explosive atmosphere and very loud on your side, and so I think it was after about 7 or 8 months, you guys won this huge big contract, and you needed a bigger office. Yeah. So we took over that office while you went upstairs. But I'd
actually parted ways with Simon at that time. By that time as well.
And how was that?
It was extremely fraught, and it was,
especially when you got a relationship as well.
Yes.
Did it feel like you were on the other foot now? You were the parents that decided to, say goodbye to.
Yeah. No, 100%. And it was kind of really disappointed at the time. But it is what it is. You know, life's life.
Absolutely.
You know, we're friends. We talk all the time. You know, we broke that kind of stalemate, and that was it. Just got on with it. Yeah.
But initially, was it quite tough at the beginning when you broke away?
Yes, I would say so, because he was, although I'd built a whole other support network, but he was very much part of my support network, and he had different ideas, different places to go, different ways of getting there, and I just went a different path.
And how has that path been? We quickly go over that.
Yes. Yeah.
Here we are on LinkedIn.
I know. It's just crazy. So this path in Qatar. So I was with Simon for a while, and then our sponsor at the time had started a fit out company, and she asked me, because we had fitted out her office, she asked me to go and join her own company, and I did, and I did a few projects with her. and then got another opportunity with another sponsor, and again, sales, kind of fit out, project management. I had a good network of subcontractors, contractors to call on. So I went and did some projects for him.
And that was working for you, being honest, being open,
Yeah.
being upfront.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then from there, I joined a facilities management agent called Mosanada, MFMS. And we, at the time, our prize project was the Aspire Zone. And we then won additional work, which the SC, the Supreme Committee for Delivery and Legacy, which was the stadiums for the World Cup. So yeah, I've been loosely over this last year, maybe a little bit disconnected from that particular portion, but I've been with them for 7 years now.
Wow.
Yeah. And to kind of come, we're almost in full circle again. My domain speciality, I guess, is cleaning and waste.
Yeah, you've kind of always been drawn to water and cleaning and
It's weird, isn't it? It's weird. Started off at 12, 13, 14.
Absolutely.
Washing cars, and now I'm washing cars. No. But, so yeah.
And now the entrepreneur street's come back.
Yes.
And that's why we're here.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's to do with water again.
There is something in there's something in the water, huh?
I think it is. I think.
Yeah. Or
have you always been drawn to water?
I'm a good swimmer. I love the water. Hey, listen.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yes. All my word.
Were you swimming in the locks in Scotland?
No, not
or
quite.
Or the North Sea? Or
no. Oh, jeez, no. I would now.
Well,
but that's to do with this. But anyway, but no. So in Larne, when I was a child, I remember there was a place where my stepfather and mum were actually going to be buying a plot of land. And it was right on the seafront.
Oh, super.
And you had all the rocks and everything, and then this odd-shaped kind of piece of land. And I remember going around and sitting there. I would go on my own, walk along the hillsides and go down to it. It never went ahead, but yeah, I just loved that
really?
spot. Yeah, and I loved that spot where I'd sit and just watch the water. So I don't know, water's just always been there for me.
I think it is.
Yeah.
You didn't have a water birth. Your mum didn't have a water birth, did she?
No.
I'm just curious.
Wow, that's that would be deep.
And I'm curious to where we are now.
Yes.
To when you stopped the drinking, the whole Friday brunches, etc. Was that a journey into your own fitness?
Yes.
Did you?
Yes. Oh, yeah. 100%. So there was a period when I stopped the negative, the negative influence of drink and brunches and all that sort of stuff. But I didn't stop eating. I didn't stop consuming sugar, whatever. I was still a fat lump, essentially. I was considerably overweight, and I'd always heard this thing called CrossFit. I remember watching Lewis Hamilton. I'm a big Lewis Hamilton fan, and he was sponsored by Reebok, and Reebok were the kind of main sponsors of CrossFit. And I remember seeing an advert with him, and I was I'd love to try it. I'd love to try that, And when I was young, I was very much into the gym. I was a bit, bodybuilder type style work. I know you definitely wouldn't think it. However, moving on, I just found a place here, and there was a place called CrossFit Oryx that was literally just opening.
Was it one of the first?
It was the second. They'll say the first, and there's definitely a back and forth.
Let's not get into that.
Yeah, between the two places. Yeah. But CrossFit Oryx, the owner at the time, Pete Collins, phenomenal. And yeah, that got me onto my fitness journey. I went in, and the introductory workout was a 7-minute workout. What? Who can't do something for 7 minutes?
Yeah, 7 minutes. That's nothing.
Yeah. A few push-ups, a few getting up on top of a box, a few of this, a few of that, whatever it was. 7 of 7 of 7. Three movements, 7 minutes. And it murdered me.
Oh, really?
And it also hooked me.
But had you done any exercise before that?
Nothing.
So yeah, God, you're gonna feel it.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
But what was the hook?
the feeling of dying, but in a positive way.
Okay. Is there a positive way? What is that positive way?
So
Is it the few days afterwards, or is it
Oh no, I was in agony afterwards.
and you still wanted to go back for more?
Yes. I remember going back to him. Okay, when are you open up the classes? Oh well, our name. You'll be fifth on the fifth row of the third list, and blah blah blah. And it might have been like 2 months before I then got the next class.
So how many years ago was this? I'm just curious.
8 years ago.
And you've been doing CrossFit ever since?
Yes.
Because I'm amazed that you.
Okay.
No, but that people do it for so long. Because I see people that throw themselves into CrossFit because they want to lose weight or they want to look different, etc., etc. But to sustain that with that kind of workout, as you say, are you feeling that way of dying each time you go to CrossFit,
Yes.
or has it got easier?
No.
So doing that for 8 years.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It's incredible that you've got the will to go through it every single.
Yeah.
How many times do you do it?
Now, as I'm a bit older now, probably 4 to 5 times a week.
So you were doing it nearly every day a week?
I was doing it every day.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, look, I go to the gym every day, but
Yeah.
it's on my own
Yeah,
terms, and it's very light.
No. Listen, there is no such thing as light. It's what you want to do, and it's what's working for
And
you.
you can
so
see
that's
yourself
exactly
doing
what it
that
is.
in the future. You
Yeah.
can't see anything else. That is.
No, I have got a full gym set up in my house. 2 gym setups actually in my house, so I can open my house to clients if I wanted to. I've spent more on fitness equipment than people would ever believe, and it's actually been it's been derelict until I think last weekend. I rebuilt it all.
Wow.
And right before we came down, I had a workout at home. Then I had the reason that I'm here. Then I had an ice bath, and then we came down.
Yeah. Now look. All right. I'm listening. I'm hearing the CrossFit.
Yep.
So physically, you're there. You're building. Mentally, what's going on, and your relationship with food as well. Where were you with that?
Yeah.
Was it CrossFit first, and that was kind of offsetting? Well, I don't need to worry about what I'm eating because I'm literally burning it all up. Or was there a transformation in everything moving forward?
Yeah. So initially, before I started CrossFit, so I would wake up in the morning and I would reach for a 0.75 litre bottle of 7-Up.
Wow.
I would buy, I don't know how many of them. And I would reach for that, and that would be my first consumption of the day. Yep, exactly. Right.
Oh,
so that would be my
sugar.
That would be my first
Yeah.
consumption of the day.
Wow.
I would then probably drink another 2 of those over the course of the day. Maybe have a water somewhere. Definitely have a coffee. Definitely have multiple lattes and what have you.
Yeah.
And that was my first point. So the first thing that I started doing to start losing weight was cut the sugar out of my coffee.
Okay, so it was more focused on the food intake first before you went down the CrossFit. Yeah.
But there wasn't much. I had no knowledge at all about our macronutrients, or your carbs, your protein and fats. So it was okay. First, get rid of some sugar. So how do I get rid of some sugar? Okay, I'll go from 2 sugars to 1 sugar. I'll go from 1 sugar to 0 sugar.
Yeah.
And everything has to be staged. Everything has to be staggered to be successful. So I did that, and then I moved from 7-Up to water, and that's where the biggest change happened.
I can imagine.
Because that amount of sugar was murdering me.
Physically, what about mentally? Did you see any changes as well, giving all that sugar?
Not really.
The highs, the lows.
Yeah, no, not really. I think caffeine obviously gives you, gives you equally the same kind of response, dopamine response and what have you. So not really. I still am a big chocolate fan. So
you still go for that?
Yeah. I'm not going to say I maybe replaced the 7-Up maybe with an extra bar of chocolate or something, but it was just the constant drip feeding of the sugar throughout the day, late into the night and first thing in the morning and late into the night. It had such an effect.
Yeah.
So taking that out made a massive effect. I think I dropped maybe 5 or 6 kgs in the first couple of weeks.
Yeah.
It was, and that was just taking sugar out.
Yeah.
Then I moved from sugar out. I think I managed to get into CrossFit. I think a space opened up because it exploded here. There was two or three places.
Yeah.
And something new, so everyone wanted to try it. So I remember getting the call from Pete saying, right, okay, your space is open up. You're booked in for this day, and it was a weekend course, and I went and did it, and it murdered me. And then I was back in on Sunday, ready for my first class.
Yeah.
And first class in out in the wild. And because I'd got rid of the sugar, and I still didn't have any clue about nutrition.
Yeah. When did that come around?
I did. So CrossFit is very much into knowledge base, even if you're just a participant. You don't have to be a coach. The route to coaching and the route to CrossFit is exactly the same. You can do what's called a level 1 certification, and they teach you about nutrition on that.
Oh, super.
Yeah, they give you an introduction to nutrition, and they part of their methodology is based around nutrition also. A little bit outdated for where my knowledge is now, I think, and I think it's probably changed. I don't know, but yeah. So that's where my knowledge then came. I went and I did a level 1, got that certificate, and then jumped on a thing called the Zone diet. Okay, and it's not a diet, but what it is packaging your macronutrients into numbers essentially, and you're allowed 2 of these for 2 carbohydrates, 1 fat, and 2 protein for your meal. Type of thing. So it's categorizing your food and then allowing you certain volumes based on your height, weight.
Are you still doing that, or
no?
Okay.
No. So now, I did that. And that was the first part of my educational journey into fitness. Yeah. I then did 2 or 3 other courses that CrossFit offer. Weightlifting course, where you then certified to teach weightlifting. I would never do it now, but anyway, I just mean I would never try and teach someone now. It was so long ago. Yeah. Gymnastics course, which just teach all about body movements and how to get the most out of your body. And then I decided to do a personal trainer course, and that got me really into fitness, health and fitness, and nutrition.
So that kind of opened up a whole world to you then.
Yeah, finding out about how the brain works, how everything impacts everything.
Yeah,
everything goes in has an impact somewhere.
Absolutely.
And we say absolutely, but the amount of people that don't correlate to the other is incredible.
Don't worry, I know. Like 90% of people probably don't know, or 95%.
Don't realise that if you eat sugar, the amount of effect that has on your brain, a negative effect it has on your brain, is incredible. Anyway, so that then kind of moved me through the nutritional hellscape of everyone trying to tell you everything. Unfortunately, and I'm going to say this unfortunately because everyone's going to say something negative about this, I jumped on the keto bandwagon, and it was life-changing. And the reason it was life-changing was to really understand what nutrition is and where our body really isn't set up for the mass market carbohydrate saturation that we have in the world. And that's the reason for practically every single disease, comorbidity disease in the world, and no one will ever link them. They would rather pay as much as they can to keep them unlinked than to link them
exactly.
to carbohydrates.
Yeah.
So So anyway, yeah.
So are you still on the keto diet, or you've kind of refined it so
it fits me now?
Absolutely,
you know, it fits me. I've got a vast knowledge. I've basically taken so many people through a keto journey with me. People, know that I will. They can call me. They can shoot me a DM, and I will talk to them about it. I'll tell them about the negatives, what's happened, why this has happened, what they need to do. Yeah. And it does. It's not you have to do it. It's what they need to do to be able to be, get beyond that urge or that craving. Or if they've got that, go do it. Yeah. Eat the donut. I think I had a couple of donuts last night.
Yeah, anyway, it's not going to kill you.
No, exactly.
No. Yeah.
Exactly. One bad workout or missing one workout is not going to make you unfit.
No, absolutely.
And one donut's not going to make you unhealthy.
No, exactly.
Every day it does.
Every day. Exactly. I'm just curious, who's been your inspiration on this journey? Has there been any sources of information, books, personalities, etc., that have taken you on this journey or helped you?
No, I would just say open source, actually. I wouldn't say a person or people.
Yeah.
I would say that would be just the media content that there is out there now. You will find something that...
Isn't it amazing? Yeah. I don't think...
you agree with.
Yeah. In the early days, we never had that.
No.
It was always just certain books.
Books, magazines. I remember when I was into bodybuilding, you would just go and buy your Muscle and Fitness or your Flex magazine, and you would see the guy that you really liked, and then all of a sudden that would be it, and then you would do his workout, and that's how you would kind of move forward. But no, now you've got such TV or media personalities that are just people, and they've got a very good and clear message to give. I'm not a fan of these people who shoot everyone down. I'm not a fan of that.
No, not at all. Well, that's more your sales guys. That
Yes. I'm not here to sell you anything. No. However, if you can just sign up for this.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, funny that, isn't it? But don't talk to any of these guys that sell you anything.
No.
So, yeah, I'm not into that.
Yeah.
So now I follow a very basic, probably one of the best online CrossFit modality workouts that there is, by a couple who were very, very prolific in the CrossFit world. They got married, had kids, life took over, and they've developed one of the largest CrossFit space businesses that there is, and I love it. I go to my gym, either I work out at home or I go to the gym that I use, and I just put the headphones in and just get on with it and murder myself every day.
So,
yeah,
leading on,
yeah,
where did the idea for this new business come from?
Okay,
is it just because it's out there now? It's the norm. Like CrossFit people are raving on about it. That's the next best thing. Because I've seen it. Well, you sent me a few links, so there's a few personalities that are raving on about it. There was a financial guy that my wife's sent me a link, and he was raving on about cold showers as well, that is good for you. So and I've tried it, the cold showers. Did it for about a couple of weeks, and I'm like, no, I want to enjoy a warm shower. I can't do this. So tell us.
So basically what this comes from is I've always had this fascination with pushing myself. The mind, the mind will always switch off. That, I don't think it's evident at all. Anyway, so there's a certain podcaster that has 200 million plus followers.
I wonder who that is.
Yeah. Fantastic guy.
But he is. He's into fitness. He's into nutrition.
Yes.
He's into the food, picking the best meats, etc., even wild game, etc., etc. And I used to love listening to him until he moved over to the dark side, and you have to pay for their platform, etc. So then I lost contact. But yeah,
So, well, I still watch him on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay, now and again. I think
Yeah.
one of the links I sent you was
Yes,
YouTube.
it was.
Right.
Yeah.
So he started promoting cold plunges, ice baths.
Mm.
Now, for me, I love the idea of challenging yourself, and I absolutely hate cold water. And I will guarantee you that anyone that listens to this, it will say exactly the same. I hate cold water.
Yeah.
That's what's called a barrier, a mental barrier.
A mental barrier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a mental barrier in your mind, right? That it's not going to do anything to you.
Mm.
You know, you have a cold shower for a couple of weeks. Did your leg fall off?
No.
Did you lose anything? No. I can tell you that you did actually increase dopamine by 2.5%, 2.5 times your levels of normal.
Oh, no, I tell you,
dopamine.
I felt superb for
Yes.
the rest of the day.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
But it's just that.
Yeah, it's the barrier.
Yeah, it is
It's
the
the
barrier.
barrier.
Yeah.
It's the barrier. So
Yes.
anyway, so during the World Cup, part of my delivery was obviously delivering the stadiums and training sites for the World Cup, and I saw this product, an ice bath, a big blue steps into it, and I thought, oh my word, that's amazing.
What, it was at a stadium?
Well, it's actually at all the stadiums now.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
right.
yeah. We've installed them in all the stadiums.
For the players?
Yes,
Is it? Okay.
yes, two. There's one in each, two in each changing room.
Okay.
A couple of the stadiums have permanent installations, but these are temporary
Oh, they're
installations.
temporary. Oh, okay.
And these are there
Yeah.
for them. So I saw it and I loved it. You know,
When you say you loved it, what, you actually tried it?
No.
Or
I hate cold water.
so you loved it because it just looked good?
It looked amazing.
Right.
It looked exactly like how I would imagine would be a really functioning ice bath.
Yeah.
You know, and then there started, I think it maybe before, it maybe had seen it quite a few times in my algorithm that you know, these things were popping up, people doing them, you know, these sorts of things. But so I reached out to the company here that sells them, because, you know, being an expat, I wanted it.
Mm.
You know, of course I did.
Yeah.
You know, I've always wanted to challenge myself. So the price I got was ridiculous. So then I looked around and I couldn't find anything. Then I bumped into a couple of guys in the fitness world that I know who own companies. Spoke to one guy, and he was like, "Man, if you decide, I love that, I'm in with you." Okay, so that. Went and spoke to another guy, and he was like, "Oh yeah, we do them, yeah, X amount of thousands."
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, "All right, okay, yeah, okay, thank you." So that was okay. So then, obviously, super busy with the World Cup, of course. You know, that was maybe sort of September, October time. Got super busy with the World Cup. Delivered the World Cup. Just to go back on that, delivered it when everyone thought I couldn't, and we did.
You did a great job.
But anyway, yeah, well, I don't know. But anyway, got that done, and then it just started eating away in my mind. Why is nothing here? Why is nothing available that I can just go and buy? You know? So we went home for Christmas, went back to the UK for Christmas and New Year, and I just started working on the laptop, started working on things, looking, finding solutions. And I'm like a dog with a bone,
Yeah.
you know, to begin with, you know, well, always, but you know, no, I'm not taking no. How about if I try this? How about if I try this? And I tried various different routes on how to find something locally. So I've actually set up my own personal cold plunge as a DIY option. And it is a massive market. Okay, it cost me an arm and a leg here because it's just not something that anyone would think about here.
Yeah.
So I researched the market. I've gone to white label sellers, and I've now sourced complete supply unit, hot and cold, ice bath, hot plunge, cold plunge.
Oh, it can be both.
Yes, it goes from 0 degrees. Now this is not overnight, but it can emit 0 degrees all the way up to 40 degree heat. So the concept is that you can either have cold shock proteins flowing through your system, repairing your body, or you can have heat shock proteins flowing through your body, repairing your system. So that's the kind of system that we're now offering.
And you said DIY. What's
Yes.
the DIY part?
So initially, I went to a pond installer,
Okay.
and here in Qatar, and a fish tank place.
Yeah.
They do big ponds. And I said, look, have you got this? Yeah, we do them. Okay, so it's a water chiller. Okay. So then they kind of disappeared off the radar from me for 2 or 3 days. So then I just went down to the place. I sort of showed them a WhatsApp to begin with. Do you do this? And I got them, and I went into them. And they were like, look, we actually have 2 of these chillers in stock, but they were bought for a project, and the project failed because we couldn't deliver the temperatures that lobsters need to work in a hotel. Not to work in the hotel.
So tell me, what is the temperature for a lobster?
It needs to be below 4 degrees. The water needs to be below 4 degrees. And this unit, it actually says in the paperwork, it can only go to 5.
Ah.
So I have no idea why they even said they could do the project. However, they did. And they couldn't get the water to 4 degrees or below 4 degrees. So the hotel cancelled the order. So these guys were left with 2 of these units sitting. So they gave me a bit of discount. Still horrendous. But they gave me a bit of discount. I bought one of the units off them. Fitted it up. Got a wheelie bin. A 360 litre wheelie bin. Because I know the sizes of bins, funnily enough.
For the plunge pool?
Yes.
Okay.
Fitted it all up.
Yeah.
Got the water in. And it's phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
Have you still got it?
Yes. I've now migrated into a slightly different setup, but I still use the same setup.
Okay.
But it's just not the bin. It's no longer the bin. I've moved into something else. A blow up temporary setup.
Right.
And that is something that the business will use.
Okay, so what are you going to offer now? What is the...
So
is it still DIY?
No.
Okay.
No.
Right.
So basically what we're doing is we're bringing in a fully functioning and isolated unit that is self-sanitizing, fully functioning cleaning.
That can do hot and cold?
It can go hot or cold. It would so the temperature moves about 4 to 5 degrees an hour. So in 24 hours you could go,
24 hours.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, generally with relationships, like my wife is not exercise health conscious.
Okay.
And here I am on the other extreme.
Yes.
So for one of these units would be great because I could do the ice, the cold water in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
But would it be enough to change for her to chill out in the evening?
It would, but you probably wouldn't be able to get to the coldness the next day. Okay. So what you could do is you could set your parameters at 10 degrees. Now, I can assure you, 10 degrees is cold.
Oh, no. Look, we swim in the Swedish lake, and that's 16, and that's cold.
Yes.
So 10 degrees is cold. Yeah.
So you could set it for 16, right?
Okay.
You could set it for 16, and you would get all the same health benefits.
Yeah.
And then you could... When you get out of it at 6 a.m., crank it up to 30.
Yeah.
Leave it for the day. And then at night...
And then it'd be ready for
the
her
wife can sit, maybe, have a beer, have a wine.
Oh, we don't drink, so...
just relax.
Yeah. Oh, she loves that.
Yeah.
That'd be perfect.
Yeah.
So it's a win-win for both.
Yes. But what I would suggest is that she gets into cold because she'll get phenomenal benefits from it.
That won't happen. I can't even get her into a Swedish lake, let alone
oh my word.
Cold bath.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Superb. Look, we're nearly running out of time. So what is it? What is the new entity going to be called? How can people find you?
Yeah.
Because this will be going out when
we're live.
Yeah, when we're live. And also you're going to take me and experience it. So we're going to include the footage in the video as well.
Yes. So the company's called the Arctic Camel.
Were you inspired by any other camels by any chance?
I have no idea if there's any red-headed camels came to mind. I don't know. You've got to think of the catch of the hook, haven't you? We're in the desert, so obviously the camel. Yeah. And what is this? This is freezing camel. You know, so the Arctic camel. So the Arctic camel, we've got a website, thearcticcamel.com, and we've also got Instagram. We've also got TikTok. So there's going to be funny TikToks going out, and you are definitely going to be part of it.
Okay.
We'll see. People will be able to see your experience. So yeah, that's what it is. It's a cold plunge. It's a personal cold plunge. You can experience them in the gym, of course you can, but we don't have time. The health benefits are actually more beneficial if you integrate it into your lifestyle rather than around a workout.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. So this was actually where my own personal experience came from, and I know that we're really, we've run through my life, and we now need to get to the nuts and bolts.
Exactly.
But the studies show that if you integrate it into your life, and specifically first thing in the morning, then you will accelerate your every system in your body. Okay, you will start burning fats. You will change the makeup of your fats.
Yeah, because that's what I was watching with that podcast, is that now they've realized that rather than do it after a workout, it's best before a workout. Yeah.
No, well, I don't do it before a workout.
Okay.
I do it at 5:30. I do it at 5:30 every morning. I get up and I go through hell.
Okay.
And that is part of the barrier of my life that I have to accomplish. And if you can accomplish something before your day starts, how much easier is your day going to be?
I always do it, and that's my routine.
Yeah.
And that's why I try to tell everyone else.
Yeah.
That's your own time. That's the time where you sort yourself out, so you're ready to take on the day.
Exactly. 100%. Yeah. So that's basically what I do. Get up in the morning, have an ice bath. Get in 3 minutes, then go out, stand in the garden, do a bit of earthing, do a bit of grounding. I can't wait actually for the next couple of months, because my head will be just outside the water, sweating, and inside the water will be freezing. So I'm actually looking forward to that, to experience that. But yeah, do that, and then just get about your day, get a workout done, and then that's you.
Nice. Well, thank you, Chris. We've got to end it now because I'm worried about the cameras turning off, etc., etc. But yes, Arctic Camel.
The Arctic Camel.
The Arctic Camel. And you will see me getting in one of these. Do you call it a plunge pool?
Yes.
Is that...
Yeah, it's a cold plunge.
Cold plunge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Superb. Right.
Can't wait.
We'll probably do a follow-up as well.
Great.
Further down the line, see how you're doing, etc., etc.
Sure. Can't wait for that.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Cheers.
In the big exhale, try and really empty out. Just purse lips, slowly exhale. Back in.
So this is after I had a interview with Chris. Now I'm getting into the cold plunge, and it's 7 degrees. My lowest I've ever been is 16 degrees, or 18 degrees. So this is going to be an experience.
Yeah.
All right.
So I'll start your timer just as you start to sit down.
Ready? 2, 1,
and you go. Try not focus on your cold. Try and focus on anything else. So just converse. Try and take your mind away from the cold. You'll feel the cold specifically in your feet and your toes because they're the furthest away from your heart, so they're not getting the blood flow. They're not getting the blood supply that they normally would. Very awakening, eh?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, try and sit down just a little bit lower. There you go. There. Good. Good job. That's a minute and a half.
Yeah, good out.
No.
Oh.
That's a minute and a half now. So what do is put your hands out. Just your hands. Put your hands up on the top edge. Because that'll really help you relax a bit. Because the hands are a real cold transfer into the core. As soon as you take your hands out, it transforms it to a much easier experience. So you went as tough as you possibly could. And all, I didn't tell you, but you did. You went really tough. Which is good. It's good for your first experience, you know? So before you get out, go submersion.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Good job. Awesome. Right, and then if we could just walk around on the grass as soon as you get out, just to get a bit of natural root back in through your feet, keep your feet moving. Arms out, extend your limbs, just...
No, I know you could. I know you could get used to that.